been a long time since we last met here on LDTV Sports, but in my humble opinion, today is a great day to pick as we've got the Shawnee Renegades visiting Lenape High School in girls soccer varsity action. And as always, a great big how you doing from the announcer's perspective, Jack Watson, Joe Malagrana. Now, Joe, what can we expect from tonight's contest?
You said it right. What a way to start our broadcast season with these two fine teams. The history, the success over the years is unbelievable. However, the Indians have been a thorn in the Renegade side for the last 8-9 years. They whipped off 7 consecutive South Jersey Group 4. 5 years in a row prior to the last couple of years, they were state champions in Group 4. And even with all that success, usually the game is decided by 1 goal, and I don't expect any difference today.
Definitely going to be a tight contest today. Don't go away. We'll be right back after these messages.
Today's game on LDTV Sports, sponsored by Deborah Heart and Lung Center, where experience matters. 800-555-1990. www.deborah.org. Cherry Hill Nissan, home of the friendly Nissan Giant. On the web at cherryhillnissan.com. Philadelphia Wholesale Produce Market. All the best, all right here. 215-336-3003 or on the web at www.pwpm.net. Comegno Law Group, specializing in general and special education law, representing individuals, families, public boards of education, and independent schools. 888-313-IDEA or ComegnoLaw.com.
Wilmore School of Gymnastics, where every child is special. In Mount Laurel, 856-234-5292. And in Medford, 609-654-9337. Medford Village Car Care, serving the area's car care needs for 30 years. Located at 11 North Main Street in Medford. 609-654-4023.
For information on how your business can become a sponsor of LDTV Sports, contact Joe Malagrana, LDTV Underwriting Manager, at 609-268-2000, extension 8680, or by email jmalagrana@lrhsd.org.
And as always, a great big thank you to our LDTV Sports sponsors, and thank you for tuning in to today's contest, where we've got the Shawnee Renegades visiting the Lenape Indians in girls soccer varsity action. Jack Watson and Joe Mel here to provide play-by-play as well as color, respectively.
And Jack, we have an absolute beautiful day here to open up our first broadcast of the 2014-2015 LDTV Sports season. Looking forward to a great game. While we're seeing the team still warming up, I believe we see some of the we see 2 referees coming in onto the field now. They'll be checking the nets and checking with the captains and going over some do's and don'ts for pregame, and we'll be underway shortly.
Definitely should be a nice, clean game. And with that, we're going to take it to our AXA Equitable Sideline Report, brought to you by AXA Equitable, providing millions of customers with life insurance, annuities, and other needs-based products since 1859. AXA Equitable, be life confident. And that number is 732-452-7275. Now let's take it to Lindsay Wood for our Sideline Report. Lindsay?
Thanks, guys. I had the privilege of speaking with both coaches today. Head coach of Lenape, Kevin Meter, said the team is going to focus on having a strong midfield and forcing turnovers for the other team in order to control this game. I also spoke with Shawnee head coach Drew Wagner, who is relying solely on the team speed and strong defense. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Lindsay. That was Lindsay Wood with our AXA Equitable Sideline Report as we get a full shot of center field on a beautiful, crisp fall day at Lenape High School's soccer facilities.
And may I say and add that Lindsay Wood did an absolute fine job on the first sideline report of the year. Good job, Lindsay.
A senior here at Lenape.
Okay, yeah, and I was talking to her earlier that she did play some soccer, so she has some knowledge and carrying it right to the broadcast booth. We do have a probable starting lineup. We'll go over. I don't know if we have any changes. We'll try to let you know on that if we find out. For the visiting Renegades, you have number 8 senior forward Gianna Pizzoli. Number 19, also a senior forward, Ariana Gerber. Another forward, number 16, junior, Silvana Gordon. Number 17, junior midfielder, Lexi Palladino. Number 14, senior midfielder, Taylor Ryan. Number 23, sophomore midfielder, Olivia Shuck. Number 25, sophomore defense, Dana Goldstein. The sisters here, we have number 7, also junior, back, Amanda Hartwell Miller. Our sister, number 18, junior, again, defense, Brittany Hartwell Miller. And also back, Haley Corson, number 5. And starting in goal for the Renegades, senior, number 0, Caroline Farley.
And with those Shawnee Renegades, they have 12 Letterman returning, 6 starters, and 8 Letterman lost. That's 5 total starters lost. And with those Shawnee starting lineups, we're going to take it to our AXA Equitable keys to the game. And AXA Equitable has been providing millions of customers with life insurance, annuities, and other needs-based products since 1859. AXA Equitable, be life confident. And once again, that number is 732-452-7275. Now let's take a look at what both teams would like to do to get a W out of this one. As for Shawnee, they're going to want to defend their set plays.
Well, it's funny that you say that, because a lot of these girls know each other from club ball. The possibility of these two teams facing each other possibly 4 times with the coaches tournament, playoffs 2 times during the year. So a lot of times the coaches have to come up with different set plays, and both teams really have to prepare for possible changes on that.
Right, and for the home Lady Indians here at Lenape, they're going to want to take advantage of every single opportunity they get.
Right, because you have 2 well-played teams, two successful and skilled teams. The first goal usually is going to be very, very important.
We got a very tight game indeed, and for both teams, they're going to want to play some very tough defense.
Right, and Coach Meter suggested that if there's any weakness on his team, he kind of leans toward not inexperience, maybe a little bit not as much varsity experience on the defense, and getting around that is play tough defense for both teams.
And those are our AXA Equitable keys to the game.
Now, we did go over the starters for the Renegades. Jack, you want to go over the starters for Lenape?
Absolutely. For the home defending number 1 Lady Indians, we've got starting in goal number 27, Alicia Hampton, and some of the defensive starters for Lenape include number 24, Brielle Stoner, number 21, Erin Harvey, number 7, Lindsay Kelly, and number 11, Erin Donahue. And all but one of those, that's Erin Donahue, are all seniors starting for Lenape. And at the midfield position, Lenape's putting out number 10, Kenny Wright, number 8, Lizzie Kinkler, number 15, Sarah Gibson, and number 3, Justine Stoner. And at forward, number 17, Marissa Topolsky, and number 5, Carly Pettipaw. And those are the Lenape starters.
Right, and the 2 captains today for Lenape is number 8, Lizzie Kinkler, and number 10, Kenny Wright. For the Renegades, we have 3 captains, number 8, Gianna Pizzoli, number 14, Taylor Ryan, and number 19, Ariana Gerber.
And so Kevin Meter coming into this one for Lenape High School. He's been a household name here for a while. He teaches history to juniors, and he has a career record of 191 victories, 19 losses, and 9 ties.
That is absolutely a beautiful, beautiful record.
Incredible record, and Lenape will be going for their 8th straight. They've won 7 straight. They're going for their 8th straight Group 4 championship.
Right, we mentioned in the pregame that the Lenape from 2006 to 2010 ripped off 5 consecutive Group 4 state titles. Last 2 years, unfortunately, they couldn't get by. I believe it was Montgomery in the state semifinals. So they're looking to get that 8th consecutive South Jersey, and also to improve on the last 2 years and getting farther into the state finals.
As we have the beginning of the game pleasantries taking place, referees having a word with some of these players.
Now, you mentioned Kevin Meter, a head coach at Shawnee, former student of mine, former colleague of mine. That's how old I am. He's 12 years head coach. He has a record of 166, 61, and 21.
So neither of these guys with records to be scoffed at all.
No, that's for sure. And you see the captains out there and in midfield, shaking hands. Probably did a coin toss to see which team. It looks like I think Shawnee's going to possibly defend. They didn't do it yet. Okay. And it's important, the field position, because of the sun, and there's a few clouds, but when it gets late in the game, that the sun right over top of the trees, whoever's on our left is going to be looking right into the sun, and that may make a difference on if they choose which field.
Now they've got a decision here. They either start looking into the sun and face a second half with some excellent sunset behind them, or they could start to get off to an early lead in the beginning.
Yeah, and as I said, sometimes if they win the toss, most teams will take possession of that. However, sometimes they'll take the field position, and the angle of the sun, or if the sun is even out, may come into play in that decision.
As the Lady Renegades in their traditional pregame huddle, facing a formidable foe in this Lenape squad.
All right, we have one of the refs here testing the ball, making sure we have the right pressure. And we'll be underway shortly.
Oh, wow, you have a gauge? Fancy. Good job.
Now, Kevin Meter is assisted by Tony Guerrera, Jen Pfeiffer, and Natalia Tarosian. And the Renegades are assisted by longtime assistant Tom Mann, Katie Woll, and Mike McKenty.
Last year, the Renegades went 12-5-3 in the regular season. They have one tie on the season as of now.
Right, and Lenape comes in with one win, and they both played Eastern. Okay, they coming in. Eastern's ranked number 2 right now. Lenape's 1, and Shawnee's 3. So you had some tough competition for the first game. Shawnee tied Eastern 1-1, and Lenape with a goal by Lindsey Kinkler on a header with 1:05 left in the game, defeated Eastern in their first game 2-1.
Ranked in the Courier Post number 1, no surprise there, that's Lenape High School. But we get a look at Shawnee right now.
Right, in the preseason, or the preseason ranking, Lenape was 1, and I believe Renegades was 4th. They moved up 1 with that tie with Eastern, because at that time Eastern was ranked number 2.
And we are just about ready to get our kickoff, finally, here at Lenape High School.
All right, and it looks like Shawnee has the ball and will be looking into the sun for the first half.
So we've got the Shawnee Renegades in their blue kits and the Lenape Indians in their white and red to start off this home contest for the Indians.
It looks like Gianna Pizzoli and Taylor Ryan are going to start the game for the Renegades.
Almost ready for the kickoff, and we get a signal. That will be the beginning of today's contest. As a long kick will find its way out of bounds, and Lenape will be the ones throwing in. Lindsay Kelly on defense. She'll throw a long one out to her companion, Carly Pettipaw, as she has it quickly stolen from her. Fighting to get it back. Cannot do it as Shawnee kicks back. Kelly tries to get it again, but no luck there. As Wright with a fight for it. Stoner comes out on top, and now it's the star Marissa Topolsky. She'll take it into the corner. Taking her time with it, but cannot maneuver around the Shawnee defense just yet, as Shawnee forces it out of bounds.
And that was a great play by the defender Dana Goldstein in breaking up that offensive effort by the Indians.
And throwing it in for the Renegades will be number 18, Brittany Hartwell-Miller, as Wright will play it off her chest, as a hard kick goes into the shin of a Shawnee defender. But now it's Kelly who will throw it all the way back where it used to be. As Hartwell-Miller will pass to Gianna Pizzoli, who gets it out to the center, but a good steal by Kenny Wright. And now Lizzie Kinkler. The ball is turned over now. Oh, and a big trip there. Taken by Haley Corson of the Shawnee Renegades. And that will result in a free kick.
And a lot of pressure here by the Indians in a few opening few minutes here.
And a high arching kick from Dana Goldstein will result in Lenape playing it back. As a long kick back and forth. Lenape fights it off though. As a long header will advance the ball. But Lenape was just too good there. As the ball will roll all the way back to the keeper, Alicia Hampton. And she will hang on for what looks to be a long kick. She'll throw it along out to center. As Brielle Stoner back on defense. Will push it to Erin Harvey, who is committed to the College of New Jersey this year.
Nice 1-2 touch there by the Renegades. Looking to change fields to Brittany Hartwell-Miller.
Now Hartwell-Miller throws it all the way down. And will this one go out of bounds? Yes, it will.
I think they got a corner kick out of it, or was it a throw? It looks like a corner kick.
Not sure on that one. Oh! So it went all the way back to the opposite line there.
And the Lenape Indian must have got a foot on it before it went out of bounds, resulting in a corner kick for the Renegades.
And Shawnee will get their very first of the day. And it will be taken by number 10, Peyton Goad. And a header attempt. Oh, that could have been dangerous.
To the outside.
As it is finally cleared out by Lenape. And now a good steal by Carly Pettipaw. Moving up with it is Carly Pettipaw.
They got two people in the middle here. They got numbers.
This could turn into something for Lenape. Oh, and it goes off the head of one of the players and is redirected out into Shawnee possession.
I think that was number 25, Dana Goldstein, that broke that up. Fine play.
Some good defense, and now chasing it will be Stoner and Sylvana Gordon. But it is Stoner who comes out on top. As Topolsky will handle out front. But waiting for it there is Erin Donahue, who ultimately will lose the ball. And it is cleared. And now it's Kenny Wright. Wright will get it to Topolsky. Lenape tries to set up on offense here. Now moving it along is Kinkler, who, out of a good Shawnee defensive play, will see the ball going out of bounds. And now throwing it in will be Justine Stoner, the sister of Brielle. As Kenny Wright with a long and high arching kick that is caught.
Carly, cover her!
That's Carolyn Farley playing goalie. Come out and a nice scoring opportunity for the Indians, and Carolyn shut it down.
It is cleared all the way out to center as it is deflected off of a foot and will finally end up in Shawnee territory to be collected by the Renegades. And a cross pass. The attempt will end up out of bounds though, and it will end in a throw by Aaron Harvey. Passing it along out front to Sarah Gibson, who is a junior.
And we also have we have a sister combination on Shawnee's team, also number 7, Amanda Hartwell-Miller, and number 18, Brittany Hartwell-Miller.
And on this throw-in, it's kicked very high, and now Kinkler tried for a head pass, but she will ultimately regain possession. Oh, and a good goalie play by Caroline Farley.
Some strong play on both sides of the field offensively for Lenape, and some big plays by Shawnee on the defensive end, including Caroline Farley in goal.
Very aggressive attempt there, and it paid off. That's surely what Shawnee likes to see. And a good move there by number 15, Sarah Gibson, as she will get it to the companion, Kenny Wright. Kenny with a centering pass as it is cleared on a very good defensive play by Shawnee. And a header by Kinkler will result in Shawnee getting it at center.
Looking for Brittany Hartwell-Miller.
Brittany Hartwell-Miller will ultimately attempt to punch it in, and now it's Taylor Ryan. Ryan with a good head pass. And falling down to make the stop is Alicia Hampton. And that is how that Shawnee Renegades offensive attempt concludes. Throwing it up now. And it will be kicked out to center, where number 14, Taylor Ryan, will be there again. And now trickles all the way out of bounds. And now some substitutes for Lenape will come on. Carly Pettipaw will be leaving the field, and Bella Hovis, the freshman out of Lenape, will be the one to take her place. Oh, and it's deflected. Now a good lead pass from Shawnee, but an even better defensive attempt by Lenape, and now Topolsky will fight to keep that one down.
Looks like the ball did go out of bounds, so Shawnee gets the throw in, and right back to Lenape for a throw in.
And now lunging it all the way out to the freshman, and now Topolsky running up with it.
And she's looking to cut back to see some support, and there it is.
Oh, and it was missed by Hovis, as it is thrown halfway down the field.
I think we were possibly getting a handball on Shawnee, I guess.
And I think that may be the case,
Yes.
as Lizzie...
they're setting up the 5-man wall. Of course, they got to be 10 yards, and referee's pacing it off.
So now an attempt here for Lenape to deal some serious damage, as switching around positions is Lenape as well as Shawnee. And now the kick. It's up. Oh, and punched.
My heavens.
All the way above the net. A great save by Carolyn Farley.
And from our angle, Jack, so that ball was headed for the upper right-hand corner, but an equally impressive play by goalie Caroline Farley, resulting in a corner kick, but definitely saved the goal for the Renegades.
And as a goalie, you got to use your resources like that. That was a good job. An unconventional play, but a very successful one indeed.
Well, yeah, it was the only play to do, is to tap it up over the net. That's what she did.
Oh, and a good move from Gibson. But Shawnee has it now.
One of the captains there, good hustle there, Taylor Ryan, number 14.
And a good center and a head attempt from Kinkler is met with nothing but air.
Looking for Gianna Pizzoli there in the corner, but she's like double teamed there, and it goes right back to the Indians.
Pizzoli triple teamed as she tries to let her teammates catch up there.
It's a good scoring chance for the Renegades here.
Throws it up. Oh, it's bouncing on the top, and it will fall.
Oh,
Almost a deja vu moment there from what happened on the other side, but ultimately the same result. The ball tipped all the way over the net.
yeah, on that play, you want to try to get a strong hand on the ball, tip it over the net, but that didn't happen. But the goalpost saved her and resulted in a corner kick for the Renegades.
Know where 17 is, Amanda.
And from the left side now, Shawnee will have
Corner again.
a corner attempt.
Well, Coach Wagner and Coach Mann wanted a corner, but the rest said nope. It's a goal kick for the Indians.
Know where 17 is.
Hampton preparing for this long kick.
Nice ball to Lexi. Well done.
And a long one it is, but it will end up out of bounds. And now Shawnee will get another chance to set up on offense. It's tossed and headed once again out of bounds.
It was off of Olivia Shuck, resulting in a throw-in for the Indians.
But Shawnee is the one who ultimately gets it back, and hustling for it now is Hovis, as catching up on offense or defense, if you may.
Using her goalie to switch fields and actually goes up the middle.
Now Wright, a good job of keeping that one on the attack, but that ball will find its way into the cleats of Hartwell Miller. And now Kinkler with it. She'll give to Stoner, who falls down. No call on the play.
And it was great hustle there by Sylvana Gordon.
And now up with it. Oh, and falling down. A good job of regaining herself. That was number 19, Ariana Gerber. As a kick ahead, the Shawnee offense scrunched up a little bit. At the top of the key now. Setting up.
Time, Taylor, time.
And it's kicked high and outside.
Pressure here by the Renegades, Jack.
That's right.
No turn, no turn.
Shawnee knows that they're the lower ranked team coming into this one. They want to establish themselves, and establish themselves they are doing. And Hartwell Miller will throw it back around, and it finds its way to center,
Go, come on.
where Olivia Shuck will put it all the way down, and kicking it out of bounds to throw it out of the reach of Shawnee. But Shawnee will get a chance to finally recuperate on offense.
End line, to the end line.
They're trying to get Carly Braverman into the game. Of course, it's Shawnee's possession. So
Handball. Thank you.
we got a.
Handball.
No, I guess we're going to have a throw-in. No, it isn't. No, it's a penalty. Missed that on there. It's going to be a free kick for the Indians.
Hampton will take this one again. This time from the very far left side of the field if you're looking from Shawnee's perspective. As trickling around at center, Stoner will get it to right. And a good wall-like stop by Taylor Ryan. As with it is Topolsky.
Now you notice that there's two, number 6, Carly Braverman. No, I guess it was a free kick. Wasn't a throw-in.
Come on, Gianna, you got to keep this.
And a whistle blown. That will blow the play dead.
Justine. Sarah.
with just under 25 minutes remaining in the first half. Two sophomores coming on to the field now. We've got Carly Braverman and Gabby Fornia, and coming off will be Justine Stoner and Sarah Gibson, both juniors.
Okay, we're coming up around the 24-minute mark, Jack, and pretty even play right now in this first half. It's going to result in a corner kick for the Indians.
I saw that one trickle off of a Shawnee defender.
I don't want to give this powerful team any extra corner kicks.
That's true. Lenape loves setting up from the corner.
They did a short pass and looking to cross in.
As it will find its way to the very right side of the net, it will bounce off, and that will be Shawnee possession.
And a goal kick for the Renegades.
Interesting to see what Farley will do with this one as she kicks it short as opposed to sending it out long.
Yeah, because Brittany was wide open. That's why they didn't go deep. Now they're going deep, looking for Gianna.
Wow, a big chance for the Renegades ensuing here as they'll take their time, waiting for not one but four other Renegades to set up on there. As now kneeing it. Oh, and a good job of keeping it in bounds by Hartwell Miller. And a good steal by Topolsky. That will send it all the way down to the opposite side.
Yeah, she had control there, but didn't see, I think it was Marissa Topolsky, leading scorer from last year, stealing the ball and giving it right back to Indians on the offensive attack here.
On the throw-in, it goes off of Gordon's foot, and the throw-in by Carly Braverman. As sending it high will be Aaron Donahue. Lenape not staying back on this one.
A nice header action on the Renegades defense to interrupt the Indians on that play. Looking to switch fields, done well.
Sending it upward is Shawnee. They'll take the left side approach this time.
Turn the corner.
As tripping up with it will be a few Indians, and finally falling is the lone Renegade out there.
You have a sub coming in for the Indians.
Lenape definitely taking advantage of those subs now. Marissa Topolsky, number 17, will be coming out, and coming back into the game will be Carly Pettipaw. So one forward replaces another.
And I think Lenape had 4 or 5 substitutions, and I don't believe the Renegades had any up to this point. Got about 21 minutes, 21 and a half left in the first half, 0-0.
Sending it back out to the neutral zone will be the Indians as Gabby Fornia gets her first touches of the game. Aaron Donahue with a failed pass attempt to Kenny Wright. That will be taken by the Renegades, and they're hustling up there.
That's Sylvana Gordon still with control.
In an attempt out there, it will trickle to the very left side. Oh, and it's Shawnee possession.
It was deflected off of one of the fullbacks, Jack. Yeah, as a resulting in a corner kick. And here's Shawnee's first sub, number 4, Sarah DeBernardinis. She's a sophomore.
Coming off will be Ariana Gerber. Shawnee definitely hustling in this half.
Ariane is one of the captains of the fine Renegade team.
Is it me, or have we been seeing more in this offensive zone? Oh, and the ball trickles away and ultimately out of bounds.
I think the
Did we foul her?
I think Renegades wanted the goal. They thought maybe across the plane.
Knocked it loose.
But
Taylor drop. Taylor drop.
I believe a penalty was called against the Renegades, possibly for pushing off. I can't see what else could have been called there. All bunched up, kind of tough to see.
As headmanning it out front will be Shawnee. Oh, and a good juking move there. Renegades showing some fanciness on offense.
Drop. You got. Johnny,
And
make
I
the corner
believe
run for it.
that the time on possession has been very biased towards the Renegades, as we've seen it in the right side of the field far more than the left. And speaking of which, Carly Petipole is hustling down the left side.
He's flying down there.
Wow. The defense finally catches up to her, though.
Taylor Ryan did a great job there staying with her.
Wow, stellar defense there by the senior Ryan. As it will be Dana Goldstein taking the kick. And Wright will head it all the way back, where it will be met by Stoner and collected by Kinkler. Wright gets it again, though. But Sylvana Gordon will be the one for the Renegades to send it all the way back. Wright with it again. Now Braverman gets a touch, throws it back to Wright. Oh, and
Heads up. You would have had it. Almost.
that ball cleared the announcer's table.
If it was a little lower, I'm sure you would have had it, Jack. Good hands.
I did play a little bit of soccer
There
in
you
my
go.
Pee-wee days, 4, 5, 6 years old.
Well, hopefully it was goalie, because you can't use your hands for any other position.
And now Fournier is met with two separate defenders, but doing a good job of trying to keep it in there. And racing up the side with it will be Shawnee.
All right, and looked like defender Haley Corson interrupted that play. Did a fine job.
And tripping along with it will be both sides, but it will end up in Shawnee's hands as the free kick taker will be yet to be decided, and it's Dana Goldstein. Number 25, the sophomore for Shawnee. As we've seen some pass plays, has a left foot. Now, Petipole, the speedster, tries to clear it out of the zone, playing very high up at midfield.
Nice touch to the outside to Savannah Gordon.
And tripping up with it,
No turn, Brad, no turn.
Lindsay Kelly
Man on
with a
the
good
horn,
job
Brad,
to
Taylor,
send it
go.
back,
Time.
but it is ultimately met with a
Johnny,
better
make it run.
effort to keep it in with Hartway Miller. And it will find its way all the way at the bottom of the key.
That'll be goal kick. Get some subs in. Number 13 is Vanessa Alessi.
Let me know if you need a quick one.
And number 20, Christina Corby for the Renegades. And there was two players going in for the Indians. I don't know if you got that, Jack.
I think it was Justine Stoner and Sarah Gibson, the two that came off
Oh.
just a while ago. And I did see Aaron Harvey come off for the Indians.
And then step forward.
Nice header there by Olivia Schuck. Keep it alive, but Indians come out with the ball.
Brielle Stoner with some solid defense there. Oh, and a fancy move, moving it behind her. But I don't know if the freshman there, Bella Hovis, will be speedy enough to keep it in there.
All right, now the only place to go was on the ground to the goalie, and Caroline Farley naturally couldn't pick the ball up since it came off of a Renegade, and she cleared it.
Christina Corby is tripped up, and now it'll be a free kick for the Renegades. They'll get yet another one, and they'll be sending it back into this highly coveted Shawnee zone.
Right, and the Indians are used to, some aggressive defense. And Coach Drew Wagner was talking to him earlier. He says we just have to be ready for it and counteract it with some good defensive play themselves, and they have been doing that.
Check to her.
And headmans it up, tic-tac-toe, as three players will touch it for Shawnee.
Looks like Sarah B. Bernardinas is flying down that left side.
Oh, and centering it out in front,
Get up, Brittany.
meeting it with a big shot. Oh, and a save by Hampton.
Nice setup, beautiful setup. Nice low kick, but equally important on a save.
I don't know about you, Joe, but from this angle, that looked like it was about to trickle
I
in.
know you did get a little excited there, Jack, too, and that's okay. Yeah, from this angle, it did look like it was going in. Okay, Lenape gets a free kick here on a trip.
taking responsibility for it will be Shawnee, as putting it down for the free kick will be number 24, Brielle Stoner. And now Lenape goes back to work on offense, as Donahue will try to get it further inside, but Fournier will be the one to do that, as it's kicked upward. Now hugging the left side, as it will be taken back by Shawnee. Kicking it high and deep will be Stoner, though, as it takes a few bounces and ultimately ends up back into the feet of Shawnee. But now it's Lenape, it's Kenny Wright. Wow, I have trouble with that name, don't I? Now Kinkler with a one-timer, and they score!
Great setup there. I don't know if we'll get a replay on that or not, but there was a great setup, and it kind of had to be a perfect shot, and low mid corner to the left, and went right in. Lindsay Kinkler continues her goal scoring frenzy from last year, and of course she had the winning goal in their first game.
What a score by Lenape as they establish their offensive prowess here.
Again, that first goal is so important now, and Shawnee has plenty of time to try to tie the score up, but what they don't want is to be going down 2-0 with the time remaining, and there's still plenty of time in the first half.
Speaking of which, Lenape goes back to work, and the cross attempt by Topolsky will find its way out of bounds.
Good scoring opportunity there, and again, that's definitely don't want the Renegades to keep that pressure on them right now, as the Indians have a corner kick taken by Kenny Wright. You see the Indians sign up with a kind of a wall and going right into the middle.
Very high. Could be met with a header, but not to be.
Yeah, it went out of bounds on an Indians. So it will result in a goal kick for the Renegades with 12 minutes and about 30 seconds left in the first half.
And a high kick to the right as Shawnee will try to establish themselves on offense yet again after many attempts. Stoner in the neutral zone will give to Topolsky, who passes it back to Wright. And heading it along will be Hartwell Miller, as meeting her in the offensive zone will be Vanessa Alessi, and tripped up is Justine Stoner, and that will be a free kick for the Indians.
Yeah, a little bit too much there by Christina Corby, knocking the Indian down, results in a free kick for the Indians. But it's in midfield, so it's not a bad idea if you were outnumbered to be a little aggressive in that area.
And a high kick there met by the Indians, and lots of Shawnee defense, as moving it out of bounds accidentally will be Lindsay Kelly.
Christiana Corby taking the throw in for Renegades.
And heading it will be Donahue. Kenny Wright, oh, she falls down there, gets up under her own power. Running slowly there, but a very high defensive attempt by Lenape will finally end up in Shawnee possession. Now out to the left with it. And it's Topolsky now for the Indians. And up with it. Hugging the right side now. And the centering pass will find its way out of bounds, as it will roll very quickly and very, very far away.
I think, Jack, you're seeing the speed starting to take over a little bit on some of these offensive possessions.
And with that, let's take a look at our Cherry Hill Nissan replay of that pass goal. Cherry Hill Nissan, you can find them on the web at cherryhillnissan.com. Now let's take a look at that replay, shall we?
just a cross in, and she did have some time on that to set it up, and perfect shot.
And the one-time goal is definitely something that's very prominent in high school soccer.
And
it's
it's very difficult to defend too. As number 23, Bella Hovis gets back into the game for the Indians.
Especially with the sheer length and distance that is needed to kind of
surprise you, right? Yeah, absolutely.
Great offensive tool of these Lenape Indians was just exploited a few moments ago. As Stoner, the defender, will play up on offense. And now the Indians are caught with one less defender, but falling down is Stoner. As now across with it is Gibson, and Gibson will give to Donahue.
Nice possession here by the Indians. Nice
and now
overlap
Topolsky will
there.
have managed up to Pettipaw as she'll kick it out in front, but it will be met with a sprawling stop by Carolyn Farley.
Looks like the Renegades are trying to get Grace Carr into the game here in the next stoppage.
And a short kick by Farley.
Well done, time. Get up, back line.
And now Olivia Shuck will give to the right. Now moving back and forth with it. Shuck with it again.
Nice change of fields there by the Renegades.
They saw the pressure coming from the opposite side. Why not dump it back?
Nice play there, number 20.
And now some hustle from Corby. And a centering pass met with a big knee save by Hampton. And heading it will be Pettipaw, who is met with some good defense, and now falling down with it.
Got a
is
free
Alexis
kick for
Palladino.
Renegades. It almost looks like anytime the ball is going to a Renegade, there's two Indians on there. It's like they have extra players out on the field. Doesn't take long for them to get onto the ball carrier, and usually it's two of them.
Taylor Ryan will be the one to take it for Shawnee. As a long kick
Nice
and a
placement.
good catch. And now a high arching kick from Hampton. And that will bounce and trickle into the possession of Pettipaw, who accidentally knocks it out of bounds, and now it will be Shawnee.
Okay, yeah, number 24 is in the game now for the Renegades. Grace Cara and Kenny Wright's back into the game for Lenape.
Trotting off will be Bella Hovis.
And Olivia Shucks coming out for the Renegades. As we're approaching the 8-minute mark here, Jack. 1-0 Lenape.
And now a big pass up front. Ooh, Topolsky not fast enough for that one.
Okay, I stand corrected. That's a 6, not an 8. About 6 minutes left.
And now Stoner will clear to the neutral zone. And now passing up with it is Topolsky.
Nice give and go there by the Indians, looking for Topolsky.
And a good stop, and Gibson will throw it all the way out to the right. And now the refs with a few hands up. It'll be Shawnee ball.
And number 16 for the Renegades, Savannah Gordon, getting ready to come back into the contest. Guess we have a free kick here, possibly an offsides.
You have to watch offsides on offense, especially when the game gets this competitive and the defense gets this tough to stop.
Right, you'll see a lot of what they call the fullback trap, usually when one team is so much better than the other to interrupt it, but you won't see that today. These two teams are really evenly matched.
Trying to play it up will be Lenape now. As we jump back in, and now spinning around with it is Topolsky, fighting for possession. She'll kick it out front, but it will be met with Shawnee defense, and I do believe we have a call. It's Shawnee ball, I know that for sure.
Yeah, it probably went out of bounds, and
It's fine, I just taped it.
I guess we're getting a goal kick. No, you're right. It is a penalty, probably a push-off, so they're going to get a free kick. Renegades are going to get a free kick deep in their defensive zone.
Justine, it's coming this way. Slide
The kick where the incident happened is thrown out to Carolyn Farley, who will pass it to her defensive counterpart, Ariana Gerber, who has come back on. Oh, and now there's a bit of a disagreement here.
Yeah, we saw it from here. Ref couldn't see it. She thought it went off the Renegades, but it did go off the last person of white, but that's a tough call for the ref because she couldn't see it.
And now a big and high kick by Wright will halt play for the moment, as that will give Shawnee an opportunity to put some subs back on.
That was our throw, though. I know it did.
As coming on is number 19, Ariana Gerber. Now Goldstein will be taking the kick from very far back.
Yes.
And now Lenape trying to steal it back.
Can't start just pounding forward, guys.
As now kicking around with it will be Gibson. Gibson throws it up for Pettipaw. Will she be fast enough to get that one? Oh, and it's out of bounds, but we've got a corner kick.
Right. Shouldn't be too much time left here. It's important for the Renegades not to give up another goal at this point, because the last few minutes of Lenape has really been putting the pressure on the Renegades.
Operating for the first time, I believe, from the left side. They'll take the righty, Kenny Wright, as kicking it to the left side.
Had a wide open net. Unfortunately, couldn't get it directed into the net, and just to the left of it, resulting in the goal kick for the Renegades.
And Amanda Hartwell-Miller will be the one long kicking here. A header attempt by Wright will be met by Shawnee, who is playing excellent defense so far. And now it'll be number 3, Justine Stoner, to take it in. She'll throw it to Topolsky as Gibson deflects it off of her foot and up ahead with it, but it will be stopped by Carolyn Farley, the goaltender.
Next up is trying to get number 23, Olivia Shuck, back into the game for the Renegades.
Kinkler now. She'll put it up for Megan Quimby, the sophomore. And throwing it in will be Quimby, as it trickles out of bounds once again, and this time it'll be Shawnee throwing it in. And now Shuck will come back on, and coming off will be number 24, Kyra Grace.
I noticed they don't have the airphones anymore, the air horn, excuse me, for substitutions. I guess the refs are just constantly looking over to the sideline on the throw-in to see if there's anybody ready for substitution. There's a possible scoring opportunity here, but a fine job interrupting that play. I believe that's number 25, Dana Goldstein, playing the sweeper position.
Gibson with a good job of picking up the center not to be. As Shawnee will punch it out of bounds. And now it will be Lenape possession. Taking it up now will be number 23, Olivia Shuck, fresh off the bench. As she will pass to the left.
And
we've got a whistle. That's the first half. So a lot of strong offensive competition from both sides, but it is Lenape who is ultimately on top. They're up 1-0.
Right, and I'm sure Coach Wagner is going to say, at halftime, you're going to have to step it up a little bit, possibly take a little bit more chances. But again, the next goal, for their standpoint, has to be in Renegades.
Lots of hustle from both sides, I've been noticing. But it is Lenape, the home team, on top, 1-0. That is the way the first half concludes here on LDTV Sports. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be right back with the second half.
Today's game on LDTV Sports, sponsored by Deborah Heart and Lung Center, where experience matters. 800-555-1990. www.deborah.org. Cherry Hill Nissan, home of the friendly Nissan Giant. On the web at cherryhillnissan.com. Philadelphia Wholesale Produce Market. All the best, all right here. 215-336-3003. Or on the web at www.pwpm.net. Comegno Law Group, specializing in general and special education law, representing individuals, families, public boards of education, and independent schools. 888-313-IDEA or ComegnoLaw.com.
Wilmore School of Gymnastics, where every child is special. In Mount Laurel, 856-234-5292. And in Medford, 609-654-9337. Medford Village Car Care, serving the area's car care needs for 30 years. Located at 11 North Main Street in Medford. 609-654-4023. For information on how your business can become a sponsor of LDTV Sports, contact Joe Malagrana, LDTV Underwriting Manager, at 609-268-2000, extension 8680, or by email jmalagrana@lrhsd.org.
The Lenape Regional High School District highlights page on Facebook to see outstanding achievements of our students and staff. Just type LRHSD highlights, hit like, and you'll get the latest updates on achievements in academics, extracurricular activities, community service, and athletics from all 4 of the Lenape District's high schools. From success in the classroom, to volunteering in the community, to milestones on the court, there's a lot to like with the Lenape Regional High School District highlights page.
And you just heard Shawnee moving out of their second half huddle. And now we're at the start of the second half of this LDTV Sports broadcast of the Shawnee Renegades taking on the Lenape Indians in girls varsity soccer action. The first half saw lots of offensive chances as well as a Lenape goal, a one-time goal. And now let's take it to our AXA Equitable second half sideline report. AXA Equitable has been providing millions of customers with life insurance, annuities, and other needs-based products since 1859. AXA Equitable, be life confident. That number is 732-452-7275. And now let's take it to our sideline report with Lindsay Wood. Lindsay?
Thanks, guys. Lenape is up 1-0 here at halftime, thanks to Lizzie Kinkler's beautiful goal. I spoke to Coach Kevin Meter again, who said the girls need to possess the ball more in the middle and stop turning over the ball in order to keep up this win. Coach Wagner, head coach of Shawnee, says the girls need to start being stronger in the midfield and a stronger defense in order to take over this game. Now back to you.
Thanks, Lindsay. We talk about players having a good rookie game. This is Lindsey Wood's first game as sideline reporter, doing a fine job, if I do say so myself.
Dana!
Yeah, and it's really important that the Renegades come out here in the get-go and the early minutes of the second half and put some pressure on the Indians. I want to let them get comfortable and get a possibility of going up 2-0, and that's really a tough climb, hill to climb against the fine team of the Indians here.
As we see Lenape going to the right, as it is the second half, and the goaltenders will shift. Clearing it all the way out of bounds. And now Lenape will start back up on offense as they face the sun now. You think that'll affect the way that they play?
Well, I think that was the reason why possibly Coach Wagner, I think, elected to go with the positioning.
And now a centering pass attempt, but Lenape not fast enough for that one.
And as I just took a look downfield here to our left, but the Lenape goaltender is definitely shading her eyes with the sun. So if the Renegades can get something going, get that ball up in the air and get it into the sun.
And you know, the day ending, the sun getting very, very bright as the clouds begin to clear away here at Lenape High School.
Ariana got to play that ball early to Lex, right? Just play it down line to Lex. Oh, no.
The ball finds its way all the way out to the neutral zone, as kicking it ahead will be Shawnee. Now up with it is number 17, Alexis Palladino, as she's in, hopefully for a big chance for her.
It looks like the Renegades are going to get a corner kick here, but unfortunately for the Renegades, it's not the sun field that the goalie is looking into. So possibly they'll try to go deep on the opposite side of the field if they have a strong leg to get it there.
Clark, shade to the middle.
It's actually coming out in the middle.
That's why.
The kick far away from all the traffic and clogging up in front of the net.
Nice give and go here.
As a centering pass is blocked by Gibson, but now kicking it high and out of bounds is Shawnee's Ariana Gerber, and now Lenape is the one with possession.
Right, and see that cross in high in the air, get hopefully force that Lenape goalie looking into the sun and maybe able to catch a break to tie this score up.
Two and a half minutes gone here in the second half of today's soccer contest. Lenape in the white and red jerseys and Shawnee in the blue and white jerseys.
And we just saw a perfect implementation of a give and go by the Renegades, but unfortunately for the Renegades, Lenape gets the ball back, and they'll have a throw in deep in the Renegades territory.
So now they flip-flop on offense a little bit as the throw-in attempt to right was blocked.
Good.
And now centering it, corralling it now, is Carolyn Farley, the goaltender for Shawnee. And now head-manning it up to her defensive counterparts. As now she will drag it along to the neutral zone, met with heavy defense. Gibson and Kinkler will be the ones challenging those two as Hartwell Miller falls to her feet. Gets back up. And now Kenny Wright taking it the length of the field. She'll throw a pass along for the freshman, but ultimately met with some strong defense by Hartwell Miller. Shawnee has seen their fair share of offensive chances in the first half. Let's see if that continues here in the second. Now it trickles long and wide to the left. And now hugging the corner as the ball will find its way out of bounds after a good defensive kick by Brielle Stoner.
Shawnee has a throw in deep in their Indians territory this time. It looks like number 8, Gianna Pizzoli, is going to take the throw in.
35 and a half remaining here in regulation.
Oh, nice head flick there into the middle.
as a good defensive play by Justine Stoner, number 3, will clear it all the way out to center. And now moving it up the right is Hartwell Miller. As an arm up now, it will be out of bounds on the Indians.
Again, Gianna's coming from the other side of the field to take the throw on the other side of the field this time.
And Pizzoli, the senior for Shawnee, has been their go-to this half for these crucial throw-ins. And now heading it will be Lindsay Kelly, and it goes high up, and that will be far behind the Lenape net. And now coming onto the field for the Indians is Gabby Fournier. She's a sophomore, and the freshman Bella Hovis will come off.
A little pressure here by the Renegades. I'm sure Coach Wagner wants them to keep it up and hopefully tie this game up.
And another long yet low kick. There, a little bit of alliteration now. Shawnee will end up throwing it all the way down, and it's met by some competition here, and it will end up on the very left side of the net, as it will be a free kick.
Got a great scoring opportunity there, but the defender on that side stayed with her, and the only place to go is where the ball went. It hit the net, but unfortunately on the left side and the outside of the net.
See, now what I've noticed is that they're very hesitant, both sides, to take it out the middle on offense. They're very, very content with carrying it up the side.
Yeah, both teams possess a lot of team speed, and you can use those corners, and also both teams have great defense and plugs up that middle.
And now Gibson will send it up higher into the key, and spinning around for a shot. That's blocked. Kinkler with the attempt there.
Jason, you got 17 offsides if they play that.
And now it will be Farley of the Renegades, the goaltender. She will be sending it long and wide.
Looks like they're trying to get Juliana Bertolino in for the Renegades, sophomore. The next whistle.
Now kicking it, stopping it. Couple of whistles means a couple of subs come on. And it's number 9, Juliana Bertolino for the Renegades. Coming off is Sylvana Gordon, the junior, number 16. And Bertolino will get the throw-in on her very first touch of the second half. And now kicking it high will be the Shawnee defense. And now up with it is Shawnee. A good attempt to get it very far up, but it's a little bit too far as Lenape is able to clear.
Come on, move forward, check.
And that was Amanda Hartwell Miller clearing out for the Renegades.
And fighting a few defenders off was right, but now Fournier fights to keep it in bounds, and she will, as it finds its way to Wright, who misses it, and Kelly is there to pick it up. Now Kinkler, as a few defenders fall down, and now Pettipaw with it, moving up to the front. Oh, and a good defensive block by number 7, Amanda Hartwell Miller, the junior.
And that will result for a corner kick for the Indians.
Wright will be the one taking the corner kick again, and now a sub coming on for Lenape. That will be number 19, Savannah Lickle, the freshman, and coming off will be Topolsky, the senior. High arching corner kick from Wright. It will be stopped. Oh, and there's a call there.
Yes, got a push on the Indians.
Sometimes you get a little bit too trigger happy, a little bit too aggressive. That was the case there.
You know, and sometimes you don't get caught, so you get away with it, and you have a great scoring opportunity, but not that time.
Good catch by the refs.
Playing it safe on the ground to the right side. That's Brittany Hartwell Miller.
Hartwell Miller traps it, gives and goes, as the journey to take it out of the defensive end is stopped, going out of bounds. Throwing will be Stoner, number 3. Kinkler takes it up the left side now. Lenape's definitely been utilizing her speed up the left side. And now a good header will clear, and racing for it is Fournier, who will keep it in Lenape possession.
Drop, Haley, drop. Step, Gerber.
And a weak and short throw-in
Good work.
will result in a turnover. And now clearing to the length of the announcer's table as it bounces off this play-by-play announcer's right leg.
You had it all the way, Coach.
Oh.
Yeah. It's a handball on number 11 there, Aaron Donahue. Ref was waiting to see who got possession before the whistle was blown. Right call.
Now Shawnee looks to waste no time here as they kick it on back. They set up an elaborate plan on offense, and now wide open for the pass is Alexis Palladino, but it will find its way out of bounds, and now it's Lenape ball.
And that ball was a good pass inside, just a little bit too strong, and just got control. If she got control, it would have had a great scoring opportunity.
29 minutes and change remaining in regulation time. It's 1-0 Lenape Indians. You're watching a girls soccer varsity broadcast from LDTV Sports. Jack Watson, Joe Melligrana, play-by-play and color respectively. And now at the key with it is Gibson. Gibson will give to Wright. Wright with a pass attempt, and it goes off the tripod of one of our LDTV cameras and out of bounds.
That was it. That's good.
And Shawnee, however, will be the ones to throw it in.
Backwards, Gianna. Make her go backwards.
And it results in a turnover now with Wright.
Don't let her go forward. Good. Well
Wright
done.
tries to defend it, and she ends up under her own power kicking it out of
Great
bounds.
defense by the Renegades, not letting Indians turn on that ball.
Fournier fights to keep it in bounds. But moving around with it is Kenny Wright. That was some nice little move there.
Great action right in front of us here.
Good. Well done, Paige.
Now kicking it ahead to Hartwell Miller, but it's taken and a few players tripped up there. It will be Lenape ball.
Please get back and mark, guys.
Yeah, and it looked like possibly the player was going down on her own accord, but got the extra bump, and that's why the whistle was blown.
Ariana, get out of there.
As Taylor Ryan is getting ready to come back into the game for the Renegades.
So Shawnee sets up on defense with a 2-player wall. And most of the offense is being set up to the left side of the net. And that is exactly where Wright will kick it, as it ends up in Shawnee possession, as they will begin the journey back to their offensive zone. Lenape fighting hard, though, to keep it back. But the valiant effort concludes in another Shawnee possession.
Yeah, and you see the Renegades don't have any time for any individual effort, long-term effort after 1 or 2 touches. And Indians are all over the Renegades, so they're really going to have to keep possession, and hopefully they can get it down the field and get a good shot on goal.
Speaking of which, here comes number 19, Ariana Gerber, one of the starters for Shawnee. The play broken up, though, by Lindsay Kelly, who will clear all the way out of bounds.
Yeah, it was a cross, and just nobody was home for the Renegades. As number 4, number 4, Sarah D. Bernardinas is going in, not number 14 for the Renegades, and number 19, Ariana Gerber is coming out, and also number 19 for the Indians, Savannah Lickles, coming out.
So the Renegades throw in now, trying for a center there, as that was thrown very long and very wide, but to the right side of the net now, and picking it up will be Hampton.
Yeah, number 14 there, Ryan Taylor, had a scoring opportunity, but unfortunately shot it wide.
Oh, and bumping into each other will be Wright and Ryan. And now up with it. An excited Shawnee bench encourages an offensive play.
And they're going to get the Renegades call on a trip there on Sarah D. Bernardinas, who just got into the game, was flying down the left side, had a steam going down there, and unfortunately tripped the Indians, giving them a free kick.
Here you go, Gab. You're good.
And a high kick. Oh, that's headed right for the announcer's stable. And a good catch by this play-by-play announcer.
Got an assist.
And throwing it in will be Haley Corson.
Save Watson, assist Melograna.
That's right. Good tip.
I'm done for the day. I'm too old for this stuff.
Hope we got that on camera. If not,
I hope not. I should have caught it.
It's like catching a foul ball at a baseball game, right? Oh, whoa, whoa. As falling down will be Donahue, and a free kick by Shawnee. They're wasting no time.
Yeah,
they will get a whistle.
But the ball has to be, still not moving before they could restart it, and the ref blew it again. But still results in a free kick for Alexis Palladino.
A little less than 24 minutes remain in the second half. As Topolsky with it now, she will begin the venture up for Lenape's offense. And now a headman pass to Pettipaw. Oh, what a collision there. Wow. Oh my goodness, wow. The shoulder of Kenny Wright went right into that.
And it's number 25, Dana Golds. Number 25 or 23?
I believe it's 25.
25. Okay.
She gets up under her own power, though.
What's the soccer ball? Taylor, push off.
And it appears as though she'll be the one doing the honors in the free kick.
I think number 7 took that free kick on that one, Amanda Harple Miller. But no card on the play, just an aggressive play.
Good step, Dana.
And at the neutral zone, it's a scrum for it. But up with it will be Shawnee. Now a good stop and a give. And now a centering pass. Oh, that's a little bit too long.
Now she's keeping it alive. Renegades are keeping it alive. Still in bounds.
D. Bernardinas tried to keep it in bounds. A good effort, but not to be, as Lenape will be the ones throwing it in.
Sub for Lenape, Bella Havas going in for number 5, Carly Pettibo. Okay, right back to the Renegades on the throw-in. Number 4 taking the throw-in, Sarah D. Bernardinas.
It has stayed in this area for about 30 seconds, but, dodging out of the way of that one will be Lindsay Kelly. And throwing it in, Haley Corson. And another high kick.
And another penalty against the Indians. A free kick for the Renegades here, putting a little pressure on. Let's see if we can get this ball up in the air a little bit. Have the Alicia Hampton, the goalie, looking into the sun. Possibly get a break.
The referees designate the spot for the free kick, and back very far is Palladino, and she'll get a high and long kick out of that one.
Yeah, just a little bit too far on her right side. Didn't really get a good opportunity to, get a redirection there because it was a very, very strong kick.
Now back with it is Hampton, and she will send another one to the neutral zone. And tripping are a few girls out there.
Help out in the middle with 17.
Free kick for the Indians. Kind of interrupt a little bit of this offensive pressure here that the Renegades are putting on the last couple minutes.
Ready here.
Kicking it high will be Stoner as she sends it up with not one, not two, but three heads by separate players on separate teams. As tough Lenape defense will be the winner here, and they will transition from defense to offense and tripping over it.
Good work, Dana.
And that was great work there by Dana Goldstein, the one who was injured on that play, to interrupt it. But it does give the Indians another corner kick. Looks like Kenny Wright's going to be taking that, number 10 for the Indians.
I don't think she's missed a corner yet this half.
Come on, Blue.
Speaking of half, we are halfway
Handball.
through the second half.
Oh, that's a good placement.
And sending it high off of a head. And Stoner will be keeping it in, but it will be met with a stop.
That's a good corner set up there. Equally good defense by the Renegades.
Now you got Brady.
Sending it high will be Farley, but
Nice give and go, but great play there. I believe was number 18 on that. Brittany Hartwell-Miller, as we have a sub going in for the Renegades. Number 16, Savannah Gordon, getting back into the game, junior. And also number 14, Megan Quimby, gets her first look, I believe, on the field for the Indians.
as number 1 Fornia will take a breather.
And Juliana Bertolino comes off, did an excellent job while she was in there.
Kicking it up a little bit is Lenape, but it will find its way out of bounds. Throwing it over the head now, and it deflects off of the back of a Shawnee player. And coming along with it now will be Kinkler as she sends it up for Stoner. Stoner will chip one to the center, but it is met with some stringent Shawnee defense, and now Quimby will get her first touches of the second half as she sends one up. Oh, angled a little bit off as it will trickle out for a goal kick.
And we hear Coach Wagner shouting out directions of containment on that last play, not running at the person with the ball, because it'd be one touch and have a free pass to the right side of the field. Unfortunately for the Renegades, the ball was kicked out of bounds, resulting in a goal kick for the Renegades.
Oh, and a good play by Gibson now. She gets ahead, and she'll send it upward, but a good defensive play by the goaltender, Farley.
Yeah, Farley read that through pass perfectly.
And now fighting for it around the center neutral zone. Kicking it up will be Hartwell-Miller. And a Shawnee player whiffed there as Topolsky will send it all the way up. And kicking it to one of her defensive counterparts. And now Kenny Wright. Right for Kinkler, who collides with another player. Oh, she looks like she's in pain there. Oh, but she gets back up under her own power. As the ball will find its way out of bounds.
In that last play, again, Caroline Farley was outside of the 18, so she could not use her hands to pick the ball up, and she made a great defensive play with her feet.
Shawnee will have the throw in now. Lenape takes it back into their own offensive zone. Hartwell-Miller.
Getting double teamed there. And it results in a turnover.
Running along with it is Stoner, who centers for Gibson. Gibson loses it, but Kinkler's back there to get it, and now Wright. Gibson kicks it right into the face of a Shawnee defender.
Yeah, and she's going to get called for her hands because she brought her hands up.
Guess it was just instinctive on that one.
Oh, absolutely. Self-preservation. As you see, Shawnee going with 5-man wall here. That close
once you,
that close to the 18-yard line, almost in midfield. You'll still see Lenape stacking to the left side with only one person and the Indians into the wall.
And a big attempt for Lizzie Kinkler here.
This pass may be going to 17. Yep.
And it is. And chasing after it are Farley and Topolsky, but it will be Farley.
There's a lot of times you do see it overload and you think the ball's automatically gone to the strong side, and we got the weak side there, and had a good scoring chance for the Indians.
Holding on to it now is Shawnee. As it's chipped to center. And now Palladino will throw it all the way up. And now up with it is Bella Hovis, who tries for Topolsky all the way out in front.
But if that pass gets through to Topolsky, that's a great scoring opportunity. But great defense there by the Renegades that break that up.
Oh, definitely. And now chasing after it is Goldstein. And now DeBernardinis with a good chance here. You know she's looking for the center pass now. And she gets it.
Player.
Palladino now, she sends it wide. And it deflects off of a defender and is finally cleared on a good defensive sequence.
Some great passing by the Renegades there, and equally great defense by the Indians. It's great soccer here.
And now it will roll into Lenape possession.
Yeah, takedown by the Renegades, resulting in a free kick for the Indians here.
13.5 left to go here in the second half on this LDTV Sports telecast of the Lenape Indians and the Shawnee Renegades in girls soccer varsity competition. Now Kinkler will try to get an easy pass out there, but it is met with some good Shawnee D. Now up with it. And it will find its way out of bounds off of a deflection. And now coming on will be Pettipaw, and coming off will be Quimby.
Come on, Lenape, keep it up! Daniel coming behind!
The minutes nearing their way to the single digits. It'll be interesting to see what both teams do. Oh, and Pettipaw.
Yeah, got a push off there. Alexis Palladino pushed off, resulting in a free kick for the Indians.
Good job of drawing the penalty there. And it appears as though Gibson, the junior, will be the one taking the free kick. It's a long one, not too far away from center. But it'll be interesting to see how she handles it. And it's chipped high.
Nice ball.
Right into the fairway there, but Donahue will try to keep it into the zone. On a collision there by Haley Corson and Kenny Wright. Wright slow to get back up to her feet again. Oh my goodness.
Gotta find feet, guys.
Oh, and she's down. Oh no.
Stay off the field. Stay off.
Oh, she's limping now.
Yeah, Kenny Wright is limping off. She's coming off.
Oh, that was a scary play.
Yeah, and I think Coach Meter wanted a whistle on that, but he didn't get it.
Play, Gianna, play! Sir, we're short!
And now kicking it up with it is Stoner, who will send it out of bounds.
Sir, can I go in now? Thanks, get control.
And Fournier will come on the field in place of the injured Kenny Wright.
And on that play, Lenape was actually short a player. Didn't have a player on the field for the injured Wright. But the ref started play. Managed to get the 10th field player in. when there was a throw-in.
The midfield powerhouse Wright showing a lot of heart. She wants to get back in there.
And she's ready to come back in.
As it will be Kinkler, the one to try to keep the offense alive. Sends it out into the neutral zone. As carrying it off the right side will be Shawnee. A headman pass now for Hartwell Miller. Centering, finding its way, and it's out of bounds.
Great opportunity there, and a lot of space. Unfortunately, didn't bounce Renegades' way. We have a throw-in for Shawnee.
Stay down! Stay down!
Well, it's Gibson now taking an knee. And she's asking for Coach Meter to come back on there.
Aaron, let's go. Aaron now.
I believe time should be stopped. Yeah, if the trainer's on the field, time should be stopped. Okay, we got the time stopped there. The official time is on the field anyway. Looks like an inhaler in there.
Perhaps the wind was knocked out of her, lost a few breaths, but
Yeah, it looks like an inhaler there, so possibly has a asthma problem there, and that's kind of tough to play this sport with that type of condition, but is doing fine. And they're allowing Kenny Wright to get back into the game here.
but definitely showing a lot of heart through these hardships. And speaking of which, Kenny Wright is coming back into the game. And Gibson looks like she's coming off. Now throwing it out to center will be Shawnee. We've got Amanda Hartwell Miller now. She'll pass it to her offensive counterpart in Haley Corson. And now kneeling down to make the defensive play is Brielle Stoner.
Okay, we have a corner kick, but the sun's not going to affect it because there's a little cloud cover here.
So to speak.
But nonetheless, they have a scoring opportunity here on the corner kick with about 8.5 left, approximately.
Shawnee operating in these conditions under the cover of darkness, if you will. And now Alicia Hampton is the one to make the catch.
Yeah, Shawnee went on the short side on that corner kick, and relatively easy save by Alicia Hampton. Now she kicks it out to midfield.
And now Wright with it. She's fought a valiant game, and she headmans it up. And now Dee Bernadine is fighting for it for Shawnee, and now she collides again. Oh, she has not been seeing the lucky side of things, has she?
Right up here, right up here. Hey, that is definitely a foul. That is definitely a foul. But she's also setting herself up for that.
Now Brielle Stoner, the one taking the long free kick for Lenape.
Key in the air, Liv in the air, back 2 steps, Liv. Sarah, watch to the corner.
Little less than 8 left as she sends one into the blue sky, and now
Step up, they're
in the
offside.
fairway of the offensive zone now operating is Wright. She fights to keep it in Lenape possession, but she was triple teamed there
Hold her off, hold her off.
and will not be able to do it. And now Harvey challenges Palladino. Palladino takes it out to the center of the center.
And that's good ball control there by Alexis Palladino.
Now up with it, Sylvana Gordon. She'll take it herself. And now heading it will be Wright. Kinkler takes it up the left side. And Topolsky will be the defender. But a good job there as it was kicked out of bounds by Hartwell Miller. And corralling the ball is Hovis.
We go two up top now. All right, two up top.
And I believe the ref is having a few
Next up,
words
blue, please.
with a few of the Shawnee players out there.
What is it, a foul?
Well, there's a little bit of a disagreement on what the call was there.
Lexi, two up top. You and Ariana up top. Taylor.
Now coming on.
It's getting near crunch time for the Renegades, and you may see some moving up, maybe an extra person up on the forward line for the Renegades, see if they can get a bounce and an extra person in the box to tie this thing up. They're going to have to start taking some chances. You may see some of their midfielders and defenders pushing up a little bit more, and as a result, they could possibly result in a good scoring chance for the Indians if they lose control.
And stopping it from losing possession is Pettipaw, and picking it up will be Farley, and she is wasting no time now as she wants to give her offense a helping hand with her team down 0-1. Now a give and go here. DeBernardinis. She'll headman it up.
Nice overlap play by the Renegades.
Now DeBernardinis will take it into the corner. Tries to utilize her speed there, but nothing doing. Oh, and Gibson will be tripped up.
And a corner kick here for the Renegades. With around 5 minutes left. A big play here.
Now these offensive series coming up could change the outlook of the game as we know it. The clock winds down.
There's a big play right here. That's a nice pass.
And a header.
Oh!
They score!
Oh my heavens! Beautiful
Shawnee
play.
scores! Shawnee scores! The Renegades have tied the game with less than 5 minutes to go! What a score!
It was a header right in and perfect setup. As we said, it was a big play 3 or 4 times, and it turned out to be an enormous play for the Renegades. It's tying this thing up with 4 minutes and 29 seconds left.
Nowhere 17 or nowhere 8 or all the time.
But,
wow!
But you know that Lenape's used to this, and they're not done. This game is far from over.
Stay composed. Touch it out, Brady. Send it out.
Wow, this Shawnee team is really energized after that one.
Right, and it was difficult for me to see who scored it. Maybe we can get a confirmation on that because they're all bunched up.
And now
No
Lenape
foul, Silvana.
wants to get some offense started. No more Mr. Nice Guy here.
Keep it up, Far!
Smart,
As
Caroline.
Farley
Wait, Caroline, wait.
will start back,
Sarah, come on. Come on,
and
Lex.
she will send it up for Palladino. And fighting to keep it in bounds.
Good
And
effort
it's
there.
out on Lenape.
Another throw in for the Renegades.
Renegades wasting no time here. And now a center is caught by Hampton.
Nice cross, a little farther out or over the goalie's head, and that would have resulted in another scoring opportunity for the go-ahead goal for the Renegades.
Haley, you should be
But coming up big again is Alicia Hampton.
Yes, Amanda!
Time. Man on, man on.
And kicking it around at center now.
Yes, Hill!
Up, Haley, up, up,
And
up.
Kinkler will be the one defending it so that Fournier can get it back.
Stolen by number 14, Taylor Ryan, looking for the left side.
Sends it up a little bit too far though.
No, he's still in.
Now spinning around with it.
Get it out! Kenny's hurt!
Good defense.
Kenny, stay there. Kick it out of bounds.
Now taking a knee is right. Oh, she's knocked up again.
Now let it out! Hit it out!
Okay, you have Kenny right down again, and you have the courtesy kick out by the Renegades.
Good sportsmanship on that play there. Oh, and
Yeah, you do see that in soccer a lot, and you probably see the throw-in by Lenape go to a Shawnee player. And that's just kind of unwritten etiquette in the sport of soccer, and that's a great thing. But let me tell you, number 10, Kenny Wright is really limping off. She has apparently an injured left knee. She has a brace, but I think what's injured is the right knee. As we see it wrapped, as she's crossing right in front of us right now, and hopefully she's okay.
What an effort.
Very tender coming off the ground, or off the field here with the training staff, and I guess that's the assistant trainer, Deidre Thurston. Of course, head trainer here for a number of years, Bill Von Leer. Okay, and it will not be a throw-in. We heard the ref say that he blew the whistle for a penalty before the ball was kicked out of bounds, so it will result in an indirect kick for the Renegades.
Amanda Hartwell Miller will be the one to take this one. The whistle blowed. And now up with it. It's Gerber with it. Gerber will send across for Dee Bernardinas.
Nice move.
She brings it around, and Donahue is the one to block that. Met by Fornia. Spins around and tries to kick it out in front, but I believe it caught the sideline there.
Yeah, it went out on the end line there, resulting in a corner kick, but again, some great moves by Sarah Dee Bernardinas there. As we're under 2 minutes, I believe.
And now a series of heads. Kicking it out front will be the Renegades, though, and sliding to prevent that from happening is Justine Stoner.
Nice play to change fields, getting an open space here on the right side.
Bella, backside, Bella.
And now along with it is Hartwell Miller.
And again,
but a whistle before that.
Yeah, ball's out of bounds again on the end line, so we have a goal kick for the Indians. Not much time here. As Juliana Bertolino looking to get in the game, the next whistle for the Renegades.
And spinning around with it now. Kicking it out to clear is Sarah Gibson. Now Topolsky will send it up, as it will be drawn across for Hartwell Miller, who will pass to Taylor Ryan. Hartwell Miller will give to Haley Corson.
And I'll give Lenape a throw in midfield here. Number 1, Gabby Forney is taking the throw, and it is going to be Gabby.
Long and high throw, and it will be met with a kick. Out of bounds.
Time! Sarah, you got time?
Now it's high, moving down the field. Kicking it out of bounds to prevent any of that from happening is Stoner.
Oh, and that's the end of regulation. We'll be going on overtime.
The end of regulation time leaves something to be desired here at Lenape High School, as it is tied 1-1 with a clutch, less than 5-minute goal by Shawnee.
Yeah, what a game to start our season with, Jack, as we go overtime with the number 1 seed and the number 3 seed team here. And I believe we have 2 5-minute overtimes, but it is sudden death. I'll try to make a confirmation on that.
And I'm reading from the official rule book now. Number 2 says regular season games which are tied at the end of 80 minutes of play will be resolved by up to 2
golden goal.
Sudden death overtime periods of 10 minutes each.
Okay, so it's 2 10s, but it is, and that rule has changed over the years, but this rule has been in effect for quite a number of years. When I say way back, it's way back. So we have 2 10s unless we get a goal. And at the end of the 2 10s remains 1-1 and will end in a 1-1 tie.
What a fiercely played game by both squads.
Absolutely, and I know we had injured Kenny Wright. I guess we should say that Sydney McNally on Lenape is out for the year with a torn ACL.
And with the end of regulation, we're going to take it to a word from our sponsors. We'll be right back.
Today's game on LDTV Sports, sponsored by Deborah Heart and Lung Center, where experience matters. 800-555-1990. www.deborah.org. Cherry Hill Nissan, home of the friendly Nissan Giant. On the web at cherryhillnissan.com. Philadelphia Wholesale Produce Market. All the best, all right here. 215-336-3003. Or on the web at www.pwpm.net. Comegno Law Group, specializing in general and special education law, representing individuals, families, public boards of education, and independent schools. 888-313-IDEA or ComegnoLaw.com.
Wilmore School of Gymnastics, where every child is special. In Mount Laurel, 856-234-5292. And in Medford, 609-654-9337. Medford Village Car Care, serving the area's car care needs for 30 years. Located at 11 North Main Street in Medford. 609-654-4023.
For information on how your business can become a sponsor of LDTV Sports, contact Joe Malagrana, LDTV Underwriting Manager, at 609-268-2000, extension 8680, or by email jmalagrana@lrhsd.org.
Welcome back to today's telecast of the Shawnee Renegades versus the Lenape Indians. And if you'd like to catch our very next game here on LDTV Sports, it's going to be varsity football. The Seneca Golden Eagles will take on the Lenape Indians over at Driscoll. That's here at Lenape High School. If you'd like to see a full schedule of all our LDTV Sports games, please visit www.lrhsd.org/LDTV.
Okay, Jack, we just got confirmation that the Shawnee goal was by number 19, Ariana Gerber.
Very clutch goal. And now begins overtime. High-octane soccer ahead here.
And again, it's 2 minutes, but if there is goal scored, the game is ended, referred to as a golden goal in soccer.
And now Shawnee will get a turn to take it up after that Lenape sequence. Or not, as it's met with some good defense by Lindsay Kelly. And off a deflection, it will remain in the feet of Lenape. Now around with it at center is Donahue, who's pushed down, no call.
And the refs are pretty much letting him play. I mean, there's some rough play out, but except for that call.
Speaking of which, I was just about to say. Shawnee will get a chance to set up on offense here.
No. Just touch it to her. Play it to her.
Very crucial moment of the game.
And play.
Passing it back to Hartwell Miller now.
Good. Right away.
It'll find its way to Dana Goldstein.
Lex, come on, you gotta check.
And kicking around with it is Brittany Hartwell Miller. And off of a high foot by Kelly, it will find its way back to center. But now Aaron Donahue is the one to clear. And now spinning around with it is Kinkler, who will give up to Gibson. Gibson will toss to Topolsky, but she stops, tries to center. Can't get it off due to the angle, I believe.
Right, anytime there's an offensive threat looking for Topolsky, you hear Coach Wagner said, look for 17. So they're definitely putting a mark on Topolsky, who had a career high or a season high of 18 goals last year. We have a free kick here for the Indians. This could be dangerous as they're setting up just a two-man wall.
Gibson with a relatively low kick, and it's met with head now.
Nice header out there by the Renegades, yeah.
And now diving on the ground to stop will be Caroline Farley, excuse me. Now carrying it up the left side are the Renegades. Now moving quickly with it is Ariana Gerber. Gerber will punch it ahead, but it's met with a deflection and a corner kick for the Renegades.
Okay, this is how they scored the tying goal with less than 3 minutes, I would say. 3-4 minutes in regulation. See what happens here. As Alexis Palladino's taking the corner.
Palladino kicks a little bit to her right.
I think she wanted that a little closer in the box. But the results of Lenape's flying out with Topolsky down the left side.
Racing down with it now. She'll wait for her offense to catch up, though. As she corrals it, kicks it ahead, but it's stolen.
That's good defense by the Renegades. Just kept pressure on her and actually pushed it in the middle. And oh, here we have a break down the right side. The
Now
Renegades.
racing up with it is Sylvana Gordon, but after a good defensive sequence by Lenape, it stopped.
Yeah, just a little bit too far on the end line. It results in goal kick. And Carly Braverman, as you said, comes into the game for Gabby Fornia.
Hampton's ball catches the chest of a Shawnee player.
Good pressure there on the head ball by Olivia Schuck.
And tripped up a little bit now is Gerber, but no matter, as Pizzoli will be the one to send it all the way down into the Shawnee corner. As a whistle now, and throwing it in will be Braverman.
Savannah, pressure!
Stoner to Braverman. Braverman will kick it out of bounds.
Lex, you okay?
Unforced error there results in a throw-in for the Renegades. Fairly deep in their offensive territory. Can change fields. Nice play.
Good passes moving around now as it is kicked all the way out to the left side. And Hampton will get a fresh ball to throw out.
And coaches Wagner and Mann are happy with that transgression of play there. Had a nice scoring opportunity, unfortunately just a little bit to the left of the goal.
And now Topolsky, her attempted pass is tipped. And now it's Shawnee ball. Shawnee will get the free kick.
Be smart, be smart!
The offense catches up now. Up with it is Pizzoli. Now a turnover, and Kelly will kick it all the way out.
All right, another throw-in for the Renegades, putting a little pressure here. First few minutes, Indians had some pressure. Now the Renegades are coming back with a little pressure of their own.
Pizzoli tosses it to her left. Met with strong defense now. This goal isn't going to come easy for Shawnee if they want one.
In the air, Dana.
Now back with it is Goldstein.
Taylor over the top, Taylor over the top.
Now kicking it very far ahead for it.
Oh, well done.
Were not one but two offensive Shawnee players.
And another fine setup by offensive pressure by the Renegades here as we come to under 3 minutes in the first overtime.
Now back with it. Now moving around with is Sylvana Gordon. Now Gordon kicks it up to Palladino. Palladino triple teamed though. Now as Brielle Stoner will kick it up. Oh, that could have been dangerous.
Yeah, they're still looking for Topolsky, but the Renegades are keeping an eye on her. That's for sure.
Yeah, the Renegades know the threat that she poses.
Bill, take off.
Now up with it is Harwell Miller.
And the Renegades are trying to get Sarah DeBerdinis in into the game. Remember, waning moments of the first half, she was putting a lot of pressure down that left side with her speed, and see if she can get her in the game and do the same thing, hopefully set up the winning goal for the Renegades.
Kicking it high, it's off the belly of Ryan. Quimby now for Topolsky, but they're watching her very stringently on defense.
Okay, we're getting number 4, Sarah DeBardinis, probably going into the left side as the end of the first half. Looks like she's going to set up right now in the midfield as number 17, Alexis Palladino's coming out.
Throws it in now, and that will be met by Gianna Pizzoli, who turns it over now, trying to get it ahead. Is Hovis. But now it's Gibson. Gibson will give for Braverman. Braverman stops, takes her time, chips it up the side. However, it is Kelly who keeps it in Lenape possession. Stoner to Gibson now. Gibson
Lenape has some numbers
will
here.
give up to Kinkler.
Oh, nice through pass, but intercepted by Dana Goldstein. Calling her name out all day in that sweeper position, breaking up the offensive threat of the Indians. Another header by Dana Goldstein, kick it out.
Now a header by Braverman will keep it in the arms of Lenape. Now Gibson. It is stopped now. 2 people on that Shawnee player, and it will be Shawnee ball. And it's out of bounds. And Lenape will set up on defense now.
A free kick for Shawnee, and it can't be much time left in this first overtime.
Now kicking it up the fairway. Now keeping it is Hartwell Miller. Hartwell Miller for the center, and it's met with a head by Lizzie Kinkler.
Easy.
And that will be the end of the first overtime period here at Lenape High School. Lots of chances from both sides here. The score remains 1-1. We will see one more overtime period. If we can't get a winner, it will result in a tie.
And it's almost fitting for these two teams, two evenly talented teams, to get into overtime.
And if you'd like to purchase a copy of this LDTV Sports telecast of the Shawnee Renegades and Lenape Indians in regular season girls varsity soccer action, please visit www.lrhsd.org/LDTV copies. And with that, we'd like to thank all of our LDTV crew for tonight's event. That includes working the camera, working the switcher, and doing pretty much everything to make this LDTV telecast possible. That crew is Matthew Darengowski, Caleb Demry, Alexa Forgione. Forgive me if I pronounced that incorrectly.
Forgione. I'll help you with the Italian names.
Sorry, I got a little too much Irish in me. I'm sorry.
I won't hold that against you.
Tyler Schlondorn, Michael Morosky, Adam Darengowski, Gabby Friedman, Anthony Pizzo, Kristen Petoskey, Melissa Cheeseman, and of course Jack Watson and Joe Malagrana here in the announcer's booth, and Lindsay Wood, our sideline reporter. So after one period of overtime and 2 periods of regular competition, we've got a 1-1 tie.
As I said, it's only fitting. A first game of the year, and what a barn burner. And they said to purchase a copy, and then these games will be on LDTV 5 times in the next 3 days. And I believe today is Wednesday, and I think our first replay or broadcast of this game is 8 o'clock. So a lot of people are going to run home and have dinner, do their homework, maybe, and I'm sure put LDTV on at 8 o'clock and check this beauty of a game. Okay, here we go. Second overtime.
Both teams extremely energized for this one. They definitely want that W. Who is it going to be? And as part of the second half, the second overtime half, excuse me, ritual, the Lenape Indians will be the ones taking the kickoff. And they'll switch sides as Lenape will be moving into Shawnee territory ahead.
Dan, slide towards Brittany a little bit.
Yeah, and Lenape's looking to a quick strike here as they're starting the second overtime.
Receive, touch, and out.
Kicking it deep as Lenape's sending 3 people down, but real quick, Lenape gets it out, as per instructions from Coach Wagner.
And pushing it ahead now is Shawnee. They really want this one, don't they?
Well, both teams do, and they're a great effort by both teams today.
As it'll be Braverman who looks to throw it in. And a sliding kick will send it into Lenape possession.
Boy, ball hasn't touched the ground. 4 headers in a row. Great talent out there.
And now Gerber. Gerber wants to set up. She chips one out to the center of the key, but it is very high and very wide to start this Lenape offensive endeavor. Quimby now. Number 14 is challenged by some strong Shawnee defense.
And that was Olivia Shuck with a very strong defensive effort in the middle of the field.
Come on, Amanda, call for it. Good. Get up, Haley. Get up, Haley. Get forward, Haley. Get up, Gerber. Get out of here. Carry.
Amanda Hartwell Miller will be the one to give it ahead to Haley Corson. And now Braverman attempted to kick it, but it was interfered with by Palladino. And that will result in a free kick for Lenape.
Stop.
It's up, and now Gibson is met with heavy competition, but now it's Stoner. Stoner now. She'll give to Gibson.
Ooh,
Gibson passes in front. Oh, and Kinkler and Corson will collide. Good job to keep that out of Lenape possession.
Yeah, and you see Corson limping a little bit, but let me tell you, she possibly saved the winning goal on that
Haley, are you okay?
on that play.
All right, pinch into 19. Pinch in front of 19.
Good job of sacrificing herself on
Pinch
defense.
in front of 19.
And now taking a long kick will be Amanda Hartwell Miller. And now off of Kinkler's back, it'll be met by Corson. And it chips its way, finds its way very far away.
A deflection off the Lenape player, resulting in a throw-in for the Renegades. Haley Corson taking it.
Man on your back.
Corson with a throw-in, deflects off of a Shawnee player, and now Lenape will take it. Gibson lunges for it, but it's out of reach as Stoner will try to pick it up. But now it's ahead for Shawnee.
Another great effort in the middle of the field there by Olivia Shuck and keeping that alive and getting it deep in the offensive territory for the Renegades for a throw-in. And now they're going to get a corner. Another corner for the Renegades.
Shawnee thrives off the corner.
And Alexis Palladino's taking it again.
Palladino sends the corner kick up. And now Shawnee will attempt to reestablish themselves on offense. And now trying to catch people sleeping now. But Hampton is right there with it.
Yeah, it doesn't give up any kind of a rebound, so great play both ways.
Now kicking it around, waiting for a good opportunity is Lenape. Braverman now. Oh, and it hits this broadcasting desk. Wow.
I was on that.
Line 17, no, where's
Mr. Mel attempted to grab that one.
Line 14.
Nothing doing there,
It
though.
was short hop. It was short hop. It was a tough play.
And now a whistle.
Haley, Haley. Haley, you can't
There's takedown on Sarah by Sarah DiBerdinis, resulting in a free kick for Lenape.
Blue.
Gibson.
Stoner sends a short kick to Gibson.
I was giving her a chance to play through, no advance.
Wonder what play Lenape's running here.
Come on, Gerber, keep working.
As Braverman will give for Stoner. It'll find itself out of bounds. And she throws it to Stoner. That was Braverman. And now with it is Topolsky. You better believe
Get
they're
organized
going to
in the
defend her
middle.
well on this offensive sequence. And now Topolsky will try to center it. But a good steal by Dana Goldstein. Saw that pass coming right away.
I've said it many times. Goldstein's been a rock back there.
Watch that line.
Braverman kicks it high and long.
Go win, Amanda. Come on, Sarah, keep moving. Come to 11.
And coming around with it is Donahue.
Right? Back here, guys. Down, back here.
And now we'll get some subs.
Yeah, Lexi got an inadvertent hand to the face there, but no call.
Taylor Ryan with a good headman pass. This is Shawnee on offense. They take it very down low. And a good clear by Lenape.
Good pressure, but an equally great defensive game here as Renegades get the ball back.
A good centering pass, but that one deflected a little too far, as it will be a goal kick.
Under 2 minutes.
Don't let them play one long and have her run onto it now. Haley, pick the middle.
And a long kick favoring the right side. Now Donahue heads it. Sliding for it was Stoner, but nothing doing there. Now up with it. And now calling for the pass was Haley Corson.
Nice change of fields there for the Renegades, but interrupted and intercepted by Indians, but they're going to get the call. Renegades are going to get the call. And a free kick with around 2 minutes left. This offensive pressure here may be it.
So a good late rush for Shawnee. Let's see how it pans out.
Yeah, and they got a lot of people in the box there. They're only 3 back, so they're counting on a little overpressure here with not much time left.
And it finds its way outside.
Oh,
As
great
Goldstein
play.
with a good job of sacrificing to keep it in. Now Braverman will attempt to clear as she gives to Kinkler. And up with it, but taken by Stoner, who will chip it ahead to Topolsky.
Got 1 minute left, quitting our clock here. 1-1 tie, second overtime.
Out to center. Stoner's back on defense again. And it's up. Lenape trying to get it back to center. As Stoner will clear to the right side. And Hovis will give to Topolsky. And it deflects off of a leg there.
Good play using Dana Goldstein to interrupt the change fields. About 20 seconds left.
And it will be taken by Stoner again, who clears long and wide.
That is it.
That is the end whistle, and that is how this very competitive girls soccer game concludes here at Lenape High School.
What a fantastic game.
It ends in a 1-1 tie. Both teams will add a digit to that third column there, as a long and hard-fought game with a couple of injuries and a couple of beauty plays will end, as it always does, in this sportsman's line.
As we see the teams, truly, we say good game, and it truly was a good game by both teams. I think both coaches are pretty happy. Maybe Drew Wagner a little bit more happy, a little happier, because they're the ones that tied it up with not that much time left in regulation. But nonetheless, a great effort for both teams.
That's right, Mr. Mel.
What's that? Who's that?
Wow, a valiant effort by both sides, but in the end, it is one to one.
And as you see, a lot of the players know each other so well. A lot of hugs. Sometimes you're playing against your cousins, your teammates from club ball, and a lot of great sportsmanship and great skill today. Well done. Well done.
So a few fist bumps from the referees will conclude this one.
Good job by the referees, too.
Good job of seeing a few of the not-so-transparent calls. But this game was highlighted with lots of rigorous defense, as well as two very hard-fought-for goals, if I do say so myself. The first one coming in the first half from, I believe, Lizzie Kinkler of Lenape High School.
That's right. And late in the second regulation, or the second half, I should say, regulation, Ariana Gerber puts it in to tie it up, and that's what we stayed. Both teams had some scoring opportunities in overtime. Shawnee had the last couple minutes of the second overtime, probably a little bit of edge on the offensive attack, and of course Lenape had their chances early, and especially in the first overtime. But both defenses and both goalies came up big. It'd be interesting to see who our star of the game is going to be here.
I can think of so many candidates.
Right. Unbelievable. So we'll see that probably shortly as we come up, and probably see the play of the game and the star of the game. And like I said, it'll be interesting to see who is going to be chosen for that. A lot of number of players, like you said, Jack.
I'm very impressed by the effort that those Shawnee Renegades gave today.
Because we had the goal scorers, like you said, Lizzie Kinkler for Lenape and Ariana Gerber. But boy, you look at it, you figure it's a defensive battle. As we see the final score there, again, the number one rated Lenape, 1-0-1. And the Shawnee Renegades open up their first two games with a tie, and against very good opponents. Of course, they opened up with a tie against Eastern, 1-1, and also a 1-1 tie against Lenape.
Shawnee coming in here as sort of the underdogs, if you will. They didn't back down. I really admire that out of the Shawnee offense and defense. And now, let's take it to our All-State You're in Good Hands play of the game. Sponsored by Michael McDyer, CLTC. That number is 609-654-1426 or Michael McDyer at allstate.com. Allstate, you're in good hands. And this was the tying goal by Shawnee.
Now, I think Alexis Palladino is taking the corner and redirected it. Ariana Gerber puts it in. As I said, there was maybe 3-4 minutes left on the clock, and that tied it up, and that's the big play of the game.
Excellent deflection off the header, and a clutch one at that, as Shawnee made themselves heard in this one. A great effort by both teams, Lenape putting on an excellent defensive show, as well as Shawnee getting lots of offensive chances. A high-octane soccer game in this one, and we were glad to bring it to you.
Yeah, there was a lot of ebbs and flows. Both teams. Sometimes you see for minutes at a time, the Indians have the offensive pressure, and it changed to Shawnee. And you'll see a great defensive play. I know I mentioned number 25, Dana Goldstein, sweeper back, making some fine plays. The Indians blocking a lot of their offensive, the Renegades' offensive pressure, also keeping them in the game, and it resulted in what we expected, a close game, but a 1-1 tie.
We're going to take a quick break here at LDTV Sports. Don't go away. We'll be right back with the player of the game.
Hi, it's Patsy here. I've got a great way to protect your kids from drugs. They like pets, right? Why not get them a drug-sniffing dog like Carl? He's wonderful. He's ex-military. He's vicious. The kids are terrified.
Hey, Carl.
Down, boy. It's tough love.
Don't be a patsy. Learn a better way from the partnership and our community partners.
In a roadside study, 1 in 3 reckless drivers who were tested for drugs tested positive for marijuana. It's more harmful than we all thought.
And we are back here at Lenape High School, where a 1-1 tie was just witnessed between the Shawnee Renegades and the Lenape Indians in varsity girls soccer action. And now it's time to take it to our Reconstructive Orthopedics player of the game. That number is 1-800-896-RECON, or on the web at www.reconstructiveortho.com. Now let's send it down to Lindsay Wood, standing by for our interview. Lindsay?
Thanks, guys. It was a tough one here today. I'm here with Brielle Stoner, Lenape's top defender. You had some awesome plays today. Shawnee seemed like really a challenge. I wanted to know what makes their offense so tough.
Well, they're a really good team. They work together. I know a lot of the girls, they're on the same team. They have great technique. They work really hard together, and they're a tough game just like all the other teams.
Now, what are you going to do to prepare for the next time you play Shawnee?
The same thing we do for every game. We work hard, we practice, we just pick out what we didn't do well in this game to hopefully fix it for the next game, and then hopefully the result is different next time.
All right, great. Thank you so much, and congratulations.
Thank you.
Back to you guys. Oh my God,
Thank you so much, Lindsay, and thank you so much, Brielle. Congratulations on the player of the game honors. So, Shawnee came into the potent Lenape powerhouse, and they put up a darn good fight, if I do say so myself. And that is just about going to do it for us here at LDTV Sports. For Joe Mel, Lindsay Wood, and all of our crew here at LDTV Sports, I'm Jack Watson, sounding off. See you next time.